You've probably heard it before. You need to put yourself out there more. You're too picky. Maybe you're just not trying hard enough. But here's what they don't understand. Having a small circle isn't a problem to fix. It's a strength you've earned. And if you recognize yourself in what I'm about to share, you'll finally understand why most people were never meant to stay in your life. You sense hidden intentions quickly. While everyone else is taking people at face value, you're reading between the lines. You notice the pause before someone answers, the shift in their tone when they're hiding something, the slight inconsistency in their story that doesn't quite add up. Other people call it overthinking. You know it's pattern recognition. Small talk exhausts you because you're not just hearing words, you're scanning for authenticity. When someone's energy feels off, you instinctively pull back. Even if you can't articulate exactly why, your nervous system flags the inconsistency before your mind catches up. This isn't paranoia, it's intuition sharpened by experience. This ability protects you from people who would waste your time, drain your energy, or betray your trust. But it also filters out 90% of potential connections, because most people don't operate with the level of awareness you do. They're comfortable with surface interactions. You're not, and that's why your circle stays small. You don't bond through surface-level connection. Most friendships are built on convenience, proximity at work, shared routines, group chats that ping constantly but say nothing meaningful. For you, that's not enough. Casual friendships feel hollow. You need depth, vulnerability, and emotional honesty to stay engaged. You watch people bond over gossip, complaints, or mindless distraction. They laugh at the same jokes, share the same memes, and call it connection. But you know the difference between filling time and actually being seen. You've tried those shallow friendships before. They left you feeling more alone than being by yourself ever did. So you wait for something real, a conversation that goes beyond the surface. Someone who doesn't just want your attention, they want to understand you. Those connections are rare, and you're okay with that. Because one authentic friendship is worth more than a dozen hollow ones. You're emotionally self-contained. You learned how to handle things alone early in life. Maybe people weren't there when you needed them. Maybe you realized depending on others only led to disappointment. Either way, you developed the ability to process emotions, solve problems, and move forward without constant external validation. You don't overshare your struggles with everyone who asks how you're doing. You don't need daily reassurance or continuous emotional support to function. This independence is a strength, but to people who thrive on emotional dependency, you come across as distant, unreachable, hard to connect with. They don't understand that you're not cold, you're just complete. You've built a foundation within yourself that doesn't require constant propping up. And because so many people bond through mutual emotional neediness, your self-sufficiency naturally reduces your social circle. You're not for everyone, and that's exactly how it should be. You value peace over belonging. You'd rather spend Friday night alone than in a group where you have to pretend. You've walked away from friendships that felt chaotic, draining, or subtly manipulative. While others chase invitations and social approval, you choose environments where your nervous system can actually relax. Many friendships are held together by drama, shared complaints, manufactured urgency, emotional turbulence disguised as closeness. You refuse to pay that cost. You've learned that belonging to the wrong group is lonelier than being alone. So you protect your peace, even if it means sitting out the party. This makes you seem antisocial to people who need constant stimulation. But you know better. You're not avoiding connection. You're avoiding chaos. Your standards aren't too high. They're just incompatible with people who mistake intensity for intimacy. You're highly selective with trust. Trust isn't something you hand out freely. You observe people for months, sometimes years, before letting them close. You watch how they treat others when there's nothing to gain, how they respond when you set a boundary, whether their actions match their words over time. Once someone breaks your trust, you don't renegotiate. You don't give second chances to people who've shown you exactly who they are. This prevents repeated emotional damage, but it also means very few people ever pass your filter. You'd rather have no one than someone who only pretends to care. People call this being guarded. You call it being wise. You've been burned before, you've learned the cost of ignoring red flags, so now you move slowly, observe carefully, and protect what matters. Your inner circle isn't small because you're broken. It's small because you refuse to let just anyone in. The truth about your small circle. Here's what they won't tell you. Having few friends isn't a flaw. It's a psychological adaptation. Your mind has learned to prioritize safety over popularity, depth over distraction, and truth over performance. You're not socially deficient. You're socially selective. The people who judge you for having a small circle are usually surrounded by dozens of connections that don't actually matter. They collect friends like social currency. You invest in people like they're extensions of your soul. Those are two completely different approaches to relationships. Neither is wrong, but only one protects your peace. The real question isn't why you have so few friends. It's who actually deserves access to you. Because your time, energy, and trust aren't unlimited resources. You've learned to guard them carefully, and the people who are meant to be in your life will respect that instead of resenting it. You're not missing out. You're protecting yourself. And that small circle you've built, it's full of people who actually see you, understand you, and choose to stay. That's not a consolation prize. That's the whole point.